Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. Hope you're enjoying the holiday season because I have a holiday present for you. I am back with some of your favorites, Brandy and Julie.
Hello.
Hello.
Julie always
Hello.
does.
I do it every day.
She'll she'll say hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. Like when I get to her house, she'll open the door. Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop.
Hello. And welcome to Juicy Scoop. I say it every single. I'll say it to the dog, to the cat. Hello.
I like
and
it.
Welcome
Yeah.
to
I'm
Juicy
flattered.
Scoop. Try it. It feels
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I love it.
One of the things you want to talk about today, and this was a topic we did touch on a little while ago, but I'm always down to talk about it, is the Hillsong hot preacher who, like, first of all, I was just looking at some of his tats. Make M pay with 2 guns.
Very Christian.
Make them pay.
Very Christian.
And here he is, really good body. God, I love this on a dude. That pelvic thing.
The
happening.
V.
You know what our gay boyfriend calls that?
You shouldn't. That's probably too intense for this.
Okay.
What is
I'm
it?
not gonna say it.
Because he's a man of the Lord, or what?
Well, I
Okay,
mean,
you tell
Kelly
me.
can cut it out, but you go ahead.
Cum gutters.
Oh,
That's a little. It might be a little.
we're all right
too
for the
spe-
start of the
yeah,
show.
Yeah.
Just sorry.
Anyway, Justin, as we know, this was his preacher, and to get people up to date, he has had to step down from the very popular Hillsong Church, but he was actually at the chapter in New York. We have one in LA and I guess a few others. He had to step down because he did admit to having an extramarital affair. We don't know with whom, do we?
Yeah.
Oh, we do know.
Yeah.
And he's married with a few kids. Who was the girl? Oh,
But
so
there's the main one that he
tell
had
me
the,
about
the
who's the
emotional
main one.
affair with.
tell me, who's he had an affair with? What's your knowledge of this?
Really, there's the only knowledge is really I can't remember her name, and she's very attractive. They had a full-on emotional affair for over a year, if not more, and it was very passionate, as you would imagine. Lots of texting and lots of angst, and I think she came forward mainly because he, I guess, didn't break up with his wife when it all came out.
But wait, is there any evidence of him having sex with other people?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that okay. Because I was like, God, to go down with just an emotional affair.
No, with sex.
Yeah.
It was emotional in the way that it was very angsty.
How do we feel about emotional affairs? Like,
We don't like them.
I don't like them either.
Yeah, no.
I feel like there's so much risk there without any actual fun. Like, you're not getting to bone, but
No,
you still could get caught.
It's an emotional affair with sex. Not like
Oh.
that's called micro cheating, what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
Micro cheating is when you are just texting.
Yeah,
and-
that's what I'm talking about. I thought
Yeah.
that was an emotional affair.
No, an emotional affair is when you cheat on your spouse and then you actually have feelings and you don't just like bone a hooker or a slut.
Okay, I
or-
think some people would disagree with
Oh.
your and micro cheating is a great new word.
Yeah.
Taking us into 2021 with micro
Yeah.
cheating. Entanglement never really took off.
No.
Jada Pinkett was hoping it would.
Yeah.
But it has not. That's where you are helping your stepson's best friend
Right.
get over some emotional stuff, and while you're holding him, his dick gets inside of you.
Yeah. Entanglement.
And
That's the definition.
and then you're literally entangled. You are. It's like a knot, and your legs are wrapped around, and the dick is inside you. And before you know it, you're entangled, and you need some detangler to spray on it and to get your bodies untangled.
Yeah.
Isn't that a movie with Catherine Zeta-Jones and Sean Connery?
No, but also Tangled is like the Rapunzel let down your
Oh,
hair.
the Disney movie Tangled.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
that's gonna have a whole new.
Yeah.
Catherine
whole new
Zeta-Jones
meaning.
dips beneath lasers.
Yeah,
That's
dips beneath
called,
lasers.
That's called something else.
It's not entanglement.
No.
No.
Okay. Well,
That was one of those classics where, like, did they ever get together in that movie? Like, that was one where he was like 75 and she
Right.
was like 35.
I'm
and
gonna
it just
assume
seemed
yes.
completely normal to all of us.
Yeah. We were fine with it.
hey,
You're always
he-
fine with it.
And he's fine with slapping a woman until the day he died.
Here we go, Heather.
Wait, who
Here
did
we
he
go.
slap?
He's
He's dead
You can look
now.
it up. He's dead. R.I.P.
Sean Connery. Who did he hit?
He hit his wife, and then but he said in a famous Barbara Walters interview, he said it multiple times, and she, probably like in the 90s.
Yeah.
And she was like, Sean Connery. You know what I mean? Like, it's been
Sean
said.
Connery. tell us about the night that you got so upset that you struck your wife.
Yeah. Well, I can't do his accent, but
Hey guys.
hey guys, how are ya? He said that when you're fighting with a woman, that when it gets to the point where she just won't listen anymore,
Yeah.
that a slap is just okay. And she doubled down and she said, you said this 10 years ago. Do you still believe it now with everything we're living through with blah blah blah? And he's like, yeah, Barbara, you dumb bitch, yeah. like
in the olden days when they slap you because you're hysterical.
Yeah.
The old
Right, like in a
hysterical
movie.
woman,
Yeah.
shut your mouth, woman, and your period is getting all over the room. And then
Yeah, well,
slap.
I mean, I don't know what year people stopped saying honor and obey when you'd get married.
I don't know either.
I think my mom may have said it. I can't remember. She got married in 1960 in the Catholic Church, and I'm curious, Kelly, if you want to
She
look that up.
definitely said
When
obey
did
then in
people
60.
stop? I mean, that is so weird when you think about it. That you
Gross.
would stand and say to this guy, "I will obey you."
Women weren't allowed to have their own credit cards until what, 1972?
Yeah.
Wow.
You can have your own credit card until like 1972. It was against the law.
We looked
So-
at our moms totally differently too. We were
Yeah.
like, God, you should be ashamed of yourself. How
know.
dare you use a man's credit card?
And yet,
so crazy.
I also look at my mom and go, there's no way you said, how did you say obey when everyone in this house is afraid of you? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I know he is. So I don't know whatever words you said. I don't know
I
what's
remember
going
being
on,
at the
but-
grocery store with my mom, and I'm sure more people did this, but she would, you could take the stickers off and you could replace the stickers of the price of the food.
Oh, I do that. I do
You
that.
can't do that now.
I
It's like
do
a
it.
barcode.
Oh, I do it. The most recent I've done it is the Target on La Brea down south near the 10. And I mean, I had done it one more time more recently, like at Lowe's, where a lady clocked me and I was like, listen, get out of my business. This is worth, because you don't steal it. You're just really paying what it's worth.
Well, anyway, she would do that. And we were going through, and I mean, we would eat really, really well. Okay. We would always have like steak and fish and always a good meal, like always really good meals. But like she's on a budget. This is when I was little and she wasn't in real estate yet. And so she would do that. And we're going through the checking, and the woman is like, the checker's like, I don't think this filet
it's
is like
$4.99.
whatever it was
Yeah,
at the time. And it was clear that my mom was kind of caught, and whatever. They didn't like call the
Yeah.
manager, but it was like, well, do you want to pay for this one? And I'm like, and I figured it out. And I was like, Mom, like, because I would see her doing this thing. And she'd even say, give me your little fingers, like
Yeah.
if her,
You got to be very
yeah,
careful.
if she couldn't.
Yeah.
And she said, don't ever tell your father that. He would be very upset. Like, he was the moral compass. Like, he would have been like, what the hell? So anyway. But wait, speaking of hitting people, last time you were here, we talked about Bronwyn on The Real Housewives of OC. And one thing that was revealed in a couple episodes ago is she says, as she was struggling with her sobriety, that she's lost her temper, and that she's hit her husband, who she still lives with, along now with her girlfriend, and she's a lesbian. She's hit this man that she's never been attracted to, who she's had 7 kids with. She's hit him twice. Once after a party, which maybe she was drunk, and another time in Aspen on a ski trip. And I've been on ski trips with my kids, and I understand what it's like to be on a ski trip with kids. But all joking aside, they featured her saying that, and now people are really coming after her because they're like, bravo, like, why are you keeping this person who's admit to spousal abuse and domestic violence? And, and I
As
thought,
opposed to who?
well, if it was a man, would you have kept a man on the show that admitted to hitting his wife?
Well, it's different if a man hits a woman than if a woman hits a man. Sorry.
Well, that's
Period.
That's what you think.
That is
But-
that is what I think.
And that is fine. And that's what you think. And I feel like she said it because she really is being, whether you like her or not, she's being really honest. She's saying, I'm into women, I'm a lesbian. But I think, here she is being truly a darling of reality TV, just sharing it all, checking every box, telling her everything. I forgot that in the last episode, she's, also hit her husband. But anyway, and people who've been married a long time probably have some really things that they would not want the world to know. But so she did. And I kind of thought, do you think it's interesting that Bravo didn't have the foresight of seeing, we appreciate you saying that, Bronwyn, but we're actually not going to feature this because of the climate and to protect you.
Right.
Like, I'm kind of like, sometimes these things that get out and stuff, I'm like, God.
Well, Bravo could have handled it better, for sure.
I'm like, okay, so there's the editor at the production company. There's the final producer that watches the whole thing. Then there's Bravo who watches the whole thing.
Andy watches them all.
And they all said, oh, that's just juicy.
Yeah.
Like, no one thought.
Even MTV will always put a little warning, like, at the beginning and at the end, like if this triggers you or this episode contains this, like you could say, abuse is never.
Yeah, well,
she's
not coming out saying like it's great to hit your spouse, but
no,
to come
she
out
was
and go,
remorseful
"This is
about
what
it
I
and saying like I was struggling and like
but
yeah,
Bravo
which I
could-
think is.
Yeah, but
good.
Bravo could have, I think, handled it more delicately.
Yeah, and then he was, he came right out after and said, on social media, like, I stand by my wife, and, he's protecting her because she's being so, attacked for good reason. Like, again, it's a double standard. But she was being honest, and you guys want to see authenticity, so then the show, I don't know how I really feel about it.
Well, I think they constantly show women who are drunk and behaving badly.
Right.
And that's fine. I think somebody honestly struggling with addiction and the super dark stuff that comes along with that is something Bravo should show because they're, you know what I mean? A lot of the people that go on that show end up becoming addicts because it's hard to maintain that type of drama and you're in a fishbowl and whatever else. But I think she's pretty brave for doing that. I mean, we haven't seen it, so I don't know if she's annoying or if she's cool.
I think they choose people that are like, yeah, I love to drink, I mean, would you choose? It's okay if they become sober on the show, but I don't think anybody would be hired if they were like, I think there was Eden Sassoon, who was a one-hit wonder on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I think that she was a sober person, but she only lasted one season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we don't want the sobriety. Okay.
No.
You guys brought up this topic. This is Tom Brady and Giselle and their real estate.
They're moving all over, so they've
Here's
left.
all their stuff. Yeah.
They left New England.
Okay.
Which until recently I didn't even realize was Boston. Julie's from Boston.
Okay.
I didn't realize that. I didn't know what that meant. I thought it just meant that whole area.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize New England was like Massachusetts.
Well, I think New England, like the Patriots, people in Rhode Island, Connecticut,
all can cheer for them.
Massachusetts are all kind of like into the Patriots. That's like New England.
Okay.
But New England, Massachusetts is, when I think of New England, I think Massachusetts.
Yes.
So I'm assuming they lived first there.
Yeah.
Because he was, on the Patriots that whole time. So now he left, and that was a big scandal. And he's on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I guess.
Yeah.
How old is he that he can keep playing?
It's like 45, isn't he?
Yeah.
He can just play till he's 60 and still be like the best player ever?
I guess so.
All because of his special water that he sells. But so were living in Derek Jeter's, Jizz mansion.
Oh, okay.
While their home was getting built.
In Tampa.
Yeah, in this very elite enclave of,
Davis Island.
Yeah. So they're like, and they're basically building the same house that they had in New England.
Which is funny because when my family house burnt down, my parents rebuilt the house precisely to what the original house was. So it's just like that. Anyway, I don't follow.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Do you imagine not trying to change a couple things? Maybe make the closet a little larger. Maybe add an island to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Nope. Not
How old
one
were you when it was
thing.
burned down and then they redid it?
In my 20s. No, in my 30s.
And did you suggest, Mom, you sure you don't want to
no.
add a family room?
No, they changed they put enhancements like on the lights and the fixtures and all that stuff. But the house itself is the same. When I asked my mom, she's like, it's not exactly the same, Julie. It's an inch taller. Like it's it's like it's a little different, but it's exactly the same. Exactly.
Except with no mementos and no yearbooks.
Yeah, nothing.
And no nothing.
Nothing from
No pictures.
none. Everything is burned up. But this now I'm from, like Brandy said, I'm from New England, from Boston. So Patriots are huge.
Right.
No, we don't. My family was just not
Jewish.
So,
Yeah.
So they were just like not really feeling sports.
Okay.
Except for me. But I never watched them. I just like to play them.
Yes.
So, but my brother was into baseball. Whatever. We just didn't care. However, people from New England are insane about the Patriots
And Tom Brady.
Insane. I mean, and it's in the blood. I the only reason I know who he is because I'm from there.
Right.
I wouldn't even know. But it's like that name, whatever. People are so upset that he's going to a different state. You know what I mean? And I just thought, it made me think, like, that guy made his career, and I don't have anything invested in it, but I'm kind of feeling the fans on this.
The massholes.
The massholes on this one. You made your career.
And
you
that's
got your
Massachusetts assholes?
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah.
because they are massholes.
Because they get insane for sports.
Right.
And there's a
Insane.
time when
Like
like
Tom
So what are
Brady.
they going to do
Yeah.
to him? They're going to kill him for leaving?
Yeah, they're going to send the
Is it his
trolls.
choice to leave, or are they still drafting them at 45, which I
Oh,
never
it's his
understand drafting. I don't even want to listen. I don't
Okay.
understand it. I think it's so mean that all of a sudden you are good on a team and everyone likes you, and then you just sit around and they're like, "Yeah, we traded you somewhere."
Yeah,
and
that's
you're like,
trading.
What? What is that?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't get
Yeah.
it.
I don't know
I
if
don't
they
like it.
might have were going to trade him. I mean, I don't know though, because he had a full relationship with like Belichick, and like, what
there's
about
no
when
way.
he, deflated
There's
the
too much
footballs?
football. No one's
Yeah.
gonna Let me tell you that's something that's going to blow your mind away.
Okay.
I have been in Giselle and Tom Brady's 4-story gorgeous home in Chelsea, New York, with a
What?
backyard and an elevator.
Oh my God, Heather.
My very good friend, my big sister in my sorority, she and her husband do quite well, and they bought the house from Tom Brady and Giselle.
Quite well.
And
What?
I've stayed in that place by myself.
Did you go?
Terrified
And,
that I'd lock myself out. Yes.
Were you like, can I use the master bath shower?
Oh, I've been in every room.
I
I've
mean,
been
you
in
should have
every
rubbed
room.
rubbed one out in that shower.
Yeah.
To Tom Brady and
Guess
Giselle's
where
lovemaking.
Their other house is on Davies Island. I've paddleboard past the Derek Jeter.
Doing your best Jennifer Aniston. Like,
Yeah.
They probably thought it was Jennifer Aniston when they saw you out there.
Yeah, dolphins have talked to me.
The
I haven't
top
seen
1%
them.
dolphins.
I have not seen them since the pandemic, but my friends, Lisa. But
Wow.
but I obviously
So
keeping
Lisa,
in touch with them forever.
was she West Coast and then went to New York?
She was from East Coast, came to LA, went to USC,
SC.
then went back to the East Coast, married, had kids, got divorced, but then she's been with this husband for like 10 years.
If that was, I mean, I don't even talk to my big sister in my sorority,
Yeah.
but I can guarantee you if it was Lisa, I would. I mean, I need to look and make sure nobody's doing anything that I should be a part of.
I mean, when people say, why did you join a sorority? You just might get
Exactly.
Lisa as your
Right.
big sister.
That's the reason for Lisa. I mean, wow. That's amazing.
So I just want to turn you on with that. Here are some weddings from the year. Some people got married. I was just kind of focusing on this one, Beatrice, daughter of Prince Andrew.
Oh.
That's an awkward wedding. She might have been almost happy that the pandemic came and they just had to get through it and not have the big wedding that they wanted because it was going to be so weird. See, July 17th, it happened after delaying it because they're
Because of Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes, because
Yeah.
the Jeffrey Epstein thing. But it kind of, for them, I think it almost sort of worked out.
Yeah.
Let's just have our wedding. Let's just do it under the radar.
Yeah.
Let's not deal with my dad and what's going on there and
Yeah.
let this story die
Yeah.
until Heather and Juicy Scoop brings it up yet again.
Yeah. Exactly. You can run, but you can't hide, Beatrice.
Yeah.
We know what your dad did.
I mean,
Here's another one of my favorites, being that I have an in-house lesbian here. This is Niecy Nash.
Oh yes.
Married to her lesbian wife.
Tidbit.
Yeah,
tidbit
hot-
on this one.
hot take,
Here's a
hot take.
Here's a tidbit. I worked on a show with her and played her wife, and
Mindy Project.
Mindy Project, and I'm going to take credit for her becoming a lesbian.
Julie turned her into a lesbian. Julie turned her into a lesbian in 2014.
Because in playing a lesbian with you in a wife relationship.
And we didn't do anything.
But it was such a pleasant experience
I think she was like,
that she was like, why am I not married to a woman?
I think she looked at Julie and said, wow, there's some that look exactly like men. And then she went, Heather, and went and found one, and there she is.
I mean, look,
she found
very
one.
masculine.
Yeah.
Very
She's like,
masculine.
why am I dealing with these a-holes when I can get one that looks exactly like a man? This is great.
Well, I met Niecy Nash when I was on Reno 911 with her.
Oh my God.
And at that
Heather.
time, she was married to her first husband with 3 kids. Shortly after that, she divorced him. And she met another guy. And that guy, she was very much like, just always gushing over him in interviews, always talking about how happy she is. They did like a little short-lived reality show. And I saw her at like a William Morris party or something, and she doesn't live too far from here. So our husbands were talking, and she's like, let's go to Fleming's for dinner. And it was one of those things when you meet another celebrity or a celebrity, and they kind of want to have plans, jump on it. Not enough people jump on it. And once you actually jump on it and make that first initial plan to eat, there's a good chance this friendship could last.
Yeah, you got to get through that first
So
awkward
anyway, I did not.
Why?
I just didn't follow up on it, or I was busy. I don't know. I felt maybe
You could have been at that wedding.
I could have been at that wedding, or I could have saved their marriage.
Or you could have saved
We
them.
could have
we
been
like the lesbian journey for her.
We could have become such a good foursome, gone on trips together and everything, that she would say, I never knew I could have such fun heterosexual couple friends. If this is what it's like, I'm staying married to a man forever. Instead, we didn't go to Fleming's. She met Julie, did a bit with Julie on a TV show, realized she was a lesbian, met this woman, fell in love, is now married.
I mean,
I can't believe you were on Reno 911 with her. We were obsessed with her on Reno 911
Yeah,
and
she
that
was
show.
So funny.
so
And
funny,
then when
my
she was
God.
on Mindy Project with Julie, we were just dying
And she
because
was-
we're huge fans of her.
Yeah.
Huge.
And she couldn't have been nicer.
She had a talk show that didn't make it recently, like a pilot. I don't know if it got stuck in the vortex of the horrible COVID or whatever, but I thought she would be an awesome daytime host.
I agree.
And my friend worked on it, and I'm sad it didn't go. Maybe another one will come, and maybe we both can be on it.
Maybe it'll be like
the reason for where she is
now,
right now.
now that she's a les, maybe it'll go.
Yeah.
She'll replace Ellen.
Wait, why is
that
this not?
would be.
There we go. By the way, this is George Clooney, and he was in People magazine. And I just thought this was like a social influencer photo.
I agree.
What is this
Didn't I say-
pose?
Yeah, I
Look,
was- she
it's
literally
so
said-
awkward. It's like he's off to the side. I swear to God, I feel like I'm watching like a 22-year-old trying to be an influencer that's almost lying, where they're going to be like, #LaCroix, and they're like,
Right.
you have 1,000 followers. No way LaCroix paid you to hold that drink, but like people pretend to be.
I mean,
She
in
said
the car
earlier, yeah.
on the way here, I was like, "What is this photo? Why?" Like he looks so good in a suit. Like just put your suit on. We don't need your hand in your pocket, guy. I can't take it. I can't take it.
I love the background though of that stony wall.
Well, now we go hiking, Heather, on Fryman. I'm sure you're familiar. I'm sure in your years,
Yes.
it's like because it's where Terry Hatcher used to live before she moved into the motorhome
Keep going.
on
I'm
the
just going
beach.
to find something is part of the story. Go on.
So
yeah.
Terry Hatcher used to live on Fryman, and
Yeah.
then George Clooney.
Uh-huh.
And so it's like you're hiking Fryman because you do the hike, and then you come out on their street,
Right.
and then you walk by his house and throw rocks into the backyard and stuff, and like
You
your
throw
shoe.
rocks.
Yeah.
Or other people
Yeah,
do.
just people.
Okay.
Just anything you can
Do you
throw.
write a note around the rock and toss it and say, like, why aren't you in a suit in People magazine?
Yeah.
Why are you trying to look like a 22-year-old influencer in this weird photo in People magazine?
Well, in the magazine, he mentions
Yeah.
walking the dog Rosie, and then hikers pass, and then his little daughter, and apparently in his fantasy of when he walks the dog with both of his children, the daughter gets shy from the hikers. And I'm
Wait, the daughter gets shy from that.
yeah, she gets shy. But I was to Julie like, this picture is weird, but also let's hit Fryman after we leave Heather's.
Okay,
'Cause it's
well,
been a minute.
Yeah.
this Sunday I've been invited to a 3-person outdoor female-only luncheon from a friend of mine.
Gifting table?
No gifting table.
Okay.
Next week she's gonna be like, "Do you guys want to
Do you guys
come?
have
Do you have any liquid?
So
What do you? How much do you have liquid?"
She wrote me, and this is Krista Lamas. Some people know who she is because she's friends with Jeff Lewis. And she says, okay, 12 o'clock Sunday, gives me the address. Great. So excited, Oh, and keep your eyes open on your way. George Clooney, I've seen running, looking fine as ever with no mask on Sundays at that time. Hear that, everybody? Some people saw him with no mask. Go after him.
Heather,
The
you're giving me
Hollywood-
that address when we're
Okay,
When we're
the
done.
Hollywood buses drive up and down the street. So you and Mercedes, MJ from Shaw's,
Love her.
She's
Tell her
also
we-
invited to the
Tell her
lunch.
we said hi.
Oh.
Can make their day if you want to walk out. I said, oh my God, I love it. George is even more gorgeous when he's running. I said, I'm sure. It's a fun neighborhood. Okay, then she said she also wants me, she has a really good karaoke system. And she said, would you do karaoke? I don't know if we can bring it out on the front lawn for the buses. Anyway, I
should.
plan on
Sounds like
doing
heaven.
karaoke and seeing George Clooney.
Yeah.
Is the
What a
goal.
day. You gotta.
Be out there doing your song,
Okay.
and then he jogs on by, and it turns into a duet, maskless duet.
What's a good George Clooney song that I
Well,
should
why don't
sing?
you sing Rosemary Clooney's song? Come on to my house, to my house. I
Oh,
wanna give
and
you
that is his aunt,
candy.
right?
Yeah, and that's the dog's name,
That's
Rosie.
Rosemary Clooney.
So if he's running with the
Come
dog,
on to my house, to my house.
Do you think his mom's upset that he named his daughter after his aunt and not his mom?
no, his
dog.
dog.
Oh, the dog. Oh,
Yeah.
Well, that's okay then.
Yeah,
The daughter, I'd be like,
Yeah.
come on.
but the mom might be upset that he named the dog after the sister. Like, why are we calling the dog Rosie?
yeah. Anyway, George
Well,
Clooney.
we're gonna be there. We're first of all we're gonna get a ticket for the Hollywood bus
Okay.
tour. That's one. So when is your all women?
I
thing?
wonder
Sunday?
if the bus tours are even going on in COVID, though. Would they be able to happen?
They could do it on the
Like every
outdoor-
other row or
outdoor.
Yeah.
something?
Yeah,
if it's outside.
And they're all
Okay.
a lot
Oh,
of
you're
them are.
right. Outside.
Like
You're
on
right.
the
They probably
top
can
row.
still do it.
I scream. We were on Bravo one time, like always when they drive by.
Oh,
like, we were
I've
on
done
Bravo.
it. I've
I
done.
mean-
I've gone out of the house and been out, and I've been like, "Hi, it's Heather McDonald from
Yeah.
the Juicy Scoop podcast,"
Right.
and nobody knows me, but there'll be a few people that are just like, they'll
Right.
just take
They
a
have
photo
to.
because
Right.
it's awkward and weird.
Yeah.
There's lots of splits here. Jason Sudeikis broke up with Olivia Wilde. I almost feel like Scarlett Johansson and the SNL guy. What's his name? Who's
Colin Jost or something.
Yeah, I feel like they're them 2.0.
Yeah.
Like, because wasn't Jason Sudeikis on SNL or no?
Yeah. Mhm.
So, and I think he met her the same way. Like, she came on the show, and I think that's how he met Scarlett Johansson. So I hope their fate doesn't follow in those footsteps.
Jason Sudeikis is always interesting because he was one of the supposed. There was like three guys that could have been the father of January Jones's baby,
Oh, yeah.
and he was one of them. So he always gets
January
really,
Jones is supposed to come on the show. I've reached out to her like so many freaking times. She lives right up the street up to Topanga. She also does Barbie reenactments on her Instagram. But
you guys
whatever.
could have a Barbie off.
I don't know. I don't even care anymore. But Tracy Morgan and his wife broke up, which, he suffered for that horrible car accident.
Yeah.
I always wonder, like, when someone recovers from a really bad illness and then they break up. Normally you'd be like, oh, my God, now more than ever I realized. I think it could go either way. I don't ever think it just stays the same. You either are like, you were the greatest thing. I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Or I can't believe I almost lost you. I want to spend the rest of my life. Or you're like your friend Melissa Etheridge, who gets cancer and says, you know what? Life is short and I don't want to spend it with you.
Yeah.
That sounds good. That
I
sounds
think
right.
this girl
That sounds right.
took care of him. I think he married her after the accident. So I think what happened is
No, what did it say here? Oh, well, an actress
she
helped him.
helped-
Oh,
yeah.
you're right. She helped him recover
Right.
from the critical injuries in 2014. Then they married in 2015. And then,
so
they broke up.
So he did do what you said.
Oh, but they
was
shared a 7-year-old daughter. So they were together before the accident.
although it's 2020, so maybe for like a year. But I think he married her probably because she took really good care of him, and then after he recovered and years went on, it was like, okay,
Yeah.
It's enough.
And then Juliana Huff, she broke up with her hot boyfriend, and then she didn't say she was a lesbian, but she just said, I'm not straight.
And he said he was questioning his sexuality, but then he said that's not what he meant by that. But we know that it is what he meant by that. We're quite sure.
Yeah.
We're quite sure.
I mean, I think saying not straight, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like for somebody who's, you know, if you are straight your whole thing and then have one girlfriend or boyfriend, you're not really straight. You're just not straight. You know what I mean?
So I think
you might not
also
be gay,
feel,
but
I
you're
feel
not
like
straight.
people don't want to say bisexual anymore. Like
Yeah, it's gross.
that's too.
It's a disgusting word.
Julie shames it.
I hate
She
it.
shames
How do you
it.
feel about pansexual?
Dumb.
What does that mean?
That means that you're just with anybody. So it could be someone
Thirsty.
transgender, or it could be somebody who identifies as queer.
Right, it's anything.
It doesn't, like, bisexual means you are with a guy having heterosexual sex, or you're with a woman having gay sex. Pansexual means you might be with someone that is transgender and might have breasts and a penis, and you might have a penis, but you then say, I'm not gay, I'm pansexual.
Or you could be with a person who identifies as queer.
Right.
So they're not necessarily like straight. Because you said bisexual would be.
Right.
Yeah.
So
okay.
like a woman who identifies, I guess, as queer or might identify as a guy, but has all her female parts, and then you're with her.
I see.
You can't say you're a lesbian because she's not saying she's a lesbian.
Right.
She's saying she
Right. Got it.
Okay.
Pansexual. Now I finally know. I've been hanging out with a full-blown dyke for 100 years and never knew what it meant. I don't think Julie did either.
I did know.
Oh, okay.
I did know that.
Well, she couldn't explain it like Heather.
I know.
Thank
I
you
guess
a lot.
I didn't know. You're right. But
It's a
bisexual,
teachable.
I just
It's a
don't
teachable
like.
moment.
Thank you. Though you did explain it in a very succinct way. Yeah.
I understand because it's dealing with
It's
the other
everything.
person's identity,
Right.
not just your own. It's like,
Yes.
you know.
And then, it's always when some people say, like, if someone in a couple, heterosexual couple, does transition, and then they want to say, oh, well, if she stays with her husband who's now a woman, is she a lesbian? Well, she might be, or she might say I'm pansexual, or she might say I just don't want to move.
Right.
Right.
I just don't want to move.
Just don't want to move.
Just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Bronwyn and Shaw. I just don't want to
Yeah.
clean out shit. I don't want to separate shit. I don't want to, like, do a co-parenting thing. I just want, like, it's okay.
That was the funniest thing Jerry O'Connell ever said when he said that him and Rebecca Romaine Stamos, like, they would break up, but neither one of them wants to have to take care of the kids. Which I think
That's another person that I've pursued numerous times to come on the show and continues to blow me off. Jerry O'Connell.
that's a mystery.
Ran into him at the parking lot at Jamba Juice. He said hi to me. If he wanted to avoid me, he did not. We had masks on. I would have not recognized him.
Really?
Exchanged numbers. I totally know. I mean, I tested for a show of his. Reached out, had people tweet him everything, going, Heather wants you on the show. He lives around the corner. Has not come on Juicy Scoop. So, you know what 2021 is going to be? Not pursuing anybody. You get one email from Kelly. That's fucking it.
And the next time you see his ass at Jamba Juice, you're going to be like, no.
Yeah.
Avoiding eye contact.
that's
Oh,
right.
if I see him, I will whip out my phone and be like, here you guys, here you go. Hi. Why don't you tell everybody why didn't you come on Juicy Scoop?
Yeah.
And then someone's like, oh, he's in Africa. I'm like, okay, well, he's come home.
And he
You're
has
telling me
his emails
you
still
don't have
on.
an assistant, you don't have anybody
Yeah.
that, like, caught your emails or DMs, or you're just going to, like, whatever, So
No.
I don't care. Okay, this is Kathie Lee Gifford. She has a new book coming out about her life, Secrets I've Never Told. We talked a little bit about her last time you guys were here.
Look how good she looks.
She looks amazing. And anyway, basically she says about the affair that her husband,
Frank.
Frank Gifford, who she met, he was like 53 and she was like 25 or whatever it was. They were like 30 years apart. She was working on Good Morning America or the Today Show. He came on and she said, I looked at those buns leaning over and I just said, I got to have that. And then they get married and he ends up gets caught by the Inquirer pursuing some flight attendant person. And she said she went to therapy, counseling therapy with him, and she didn't know what to do. And she's like, I don't know that I can forgive him. And the therapist said, but can you forgive the father of your children
Yeah.
for your children? And then she said, I guess I'm talking
Yeah.
about a guilt-ridden, who's this therapist?
Therapist is this?
I know.
God.
But
I mean,
that,
it's so-
so basically she says, I gave him another chance and I stuck with him because I knew that I feel she sacrificed her feelings for her children.
And then did you read the part where she goes on to say basically, and I'm paraphrasing here, that then she proceeded to fuck his brains out every day?
Oh, she said, and what did she say? Every time we'd make love, what was it that I have to think about? Think about that. Was he thinking about her or something?
Oh,
Was
I
it?
didn't
Was
read
it?
that part.
Wait,
That
what
would
was
have been
it?
upsetting.
Wait.
I read that he said that she would like go after him and was like
Proving,
once
like-
she forgave him, she said she would pray to God to make her desire him more than
That's
she
right.
ever had before.
Yes.
And God answered her prayers. And then she basically would fuck his brains out to the point where he'd be like, well, I guess you're getting your revenge because you're going to kill me.
Oh.
And that's what she said he said. And I'm like, damn, she was really working him over.
That would be hard, though, then to be like, oh, my God, I have to get so good at sex because
She probably started
clearly
letting him in the
he
back door.
stepped out because I didn't give him enough or I wasn't good enough at it. So now I have to find, I don't know, I guess Christian porn, if that exists, to try to learn some new tricks so that he doesn't go out with a flight attendant.
Yeah, the whole thing would be incredibly hard.
I can't believe how many topics that I'm going to refer back to myself on because I have met Kathie Lee Gifford a number of times. I was just thinking, I was like, oh, I'll never be on her show again. Oh, well, she's not on her show anymore. And then I remembered that so when my first book came out, You'll Never Blue Ball in This Town Again, I got on her show. I couldn't believe, I remember where I was when the publicist said, we got you on Kathie Lee and Hoda. First it was like, we got you on Good Morning America, whatever it is. Good Day. What is it?
Today?
No, it's the Today Show. We got you on the Today Show, and I got so excited. But then it was like everyone would rip on, but it's the fourth hour because this is like 10 years ago. And I was like, still amazing. So I think we have such a good interview. And Kathie Lee goes, you are so funny. This is amazing. She goes to the producer, talk to Heather about maybe doing a guest spot when I go away in 2 weeks or something.
God.
I am like peeing, okay, to co-host with Hoda. I'm like, oh my God. I tell my publicist they want me to possibly guest host, when she goes away. Never hear about it. Okay. Next book comes out 2-3 years later. Booking things. Cannot get on Kathie Lee and Hoda.
Why?
I'm like, I killed it. And they actually, I know Kathie Lee likes me. Like, what happened, So anyway, we're filming After Lately, which is like our fake reality show that we did about working on Chelsea lately. And I tell Chelsea that I can't get on the Today Show, whatever. And the producers of the After Lately go, that's kind of a funny storyline. And Kathie Lee's going to be here for something. So they get Kathie Lee to come on After Lately, playing herself. And I come in with my book when I'm thrilled to get some advertising for the book. And and Chelsea goes, I have a favor to ask of you, Kathie Lee. Will you please have Heather on your show? And it's kind of improv, right? And during this time, the book is not doing well. It came out. I went to New York and it was snowing and it was Fashion Week and I'm very stressed about it. And I thought it would be this big, huge thing. Oh, and I just sold a TV show that I found out they weren't picking up. Okay. But about the book. And so I was like, okay, but I'm doing this Kathie Lee scene. I'm really excited that they're featuring the book. And she kind of improvises and she goes, I wanted you on the show. It's just that Hoda thought you were so awful. and everybody on set,
No.
because it's improv, and the director's my friend and stuff. And I swear to God, I am about to cry. I am about to fucking break down and cry. My TV show is not being picked up.
Yeah.
This book isn't doing well. I'm stressed out because I'm filming 2 shows. And Chelsea feels bad. And and I'm like, oh, okay. Something like that. And I'm like, so I was just horrified. Okay. And so then the director comes over and he's like, Heather, oh my God, and then when you're on the verge of
Oh
tears,
God, don't
and
get the
then
sympathy.
someone is nice.
Nope, can't do
It is
it.
like water works.
Yep.
It's like dying, crying,
Yeah.
crying.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. Okay, so
And you're like in your like dressing room or like back in your area?
I don't know. I just remember like crying, and then after that, after NBC said no to our show, then Chelsea got a meeting with about the TV show with this guy from the USA Network, and she's like, they're looking for something, da da da. So I go and I meet the guy, and in front of Chelsea and everything, he goes, "Well, I don't want this. I came here to talk to you, Chelsea."
Oh God.
So
Oh my God.
I go, okay. And I go to my office, and I have the big sign of Mine Appropriate Life, like thing that we use for the show. And that's the book. And I'm telling this guy about, I just can't take like the Kathie Lee Hoda, and then this, and like, I just can't. Like, this is just kind of a big bummer week for me, whatever. The guy comes back and he goes, hey, look, I want to apologize. He's like, I took this meeting, I never come to people's offices. And I took this meeting to talk to Chelsea and like get into business with Chelsea. I didn't know I was about your show. He goes, but I mean, I'm not interested in your show. You got to come up with something different. Like if you were like a family of aliens or something, then maybe like if you have something like that.
Yeah.
And I just go, at that point, I just go, you know what? It's totally fine. Do not go home and feel bad about yourself. This is just a really good story. I can tell. He goes, well, that's another reason I don't want this story to be shared.
Oh. What's his name?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm sure he's like probably a realtor now. He's probably left the.
Exactly.
I have no idea. This is 8 years ago, and they all move around so much. And I never like kept a notebook of like executives' names.
Yeah.
Anyone. I never knew anyone's name. So. Anyway, one more story. So then after we're doing another season of Chelsea Lately, and I do this character called Regina the makeup artist based on Chelsea's makeup artist, Gina. And she was just one of this girl that, I don't know how I did the voice, but she's just like, she just knew about everything. And you know about everything? She's like older than us. Like, she's like, she's just like, so it was always just like to meet somebody and she'd be like I remember I did like Kelly Osbourne's makeup. We do these little sketches and I'd be like, yeah, I hope you know I know your dad. I pretty much was the inspiration for every song. I could be your mother. And she's like, what are you saying? You could be my mother. Like, it was pretty funny. So I'm supposed to do something with Hoda.
Oh no.
But at that point, I don't know why I did this, but I went in before and I was like, do you remember me? She's like, of course. And I go, yeah. I go, I really want to come back on your show for my other book. I go, but Kathie Lee told me that it was you who didn't like me. And the booker of our show is like fucking dying. Like, why are you talking to Hoda about how they both like fucking hate you? He's like, I hate you too. Like, and then I wonder why 5 years ago I had to start a podcast. Like, I clearly have fucked myself.
Oh my God.
Every which way but Sunday. I will never be on Hoda and now Jenna.
So I didn't know. So Kathie Lee left Hoda and Kathie Lee?
Yeah, she like they absolutely did not kick her off. Like she just was like, I'm done. I think, and loves the show. And I think they're still good friends. And then Jenna Bush is the co-host now. And she was one I used to like to make fun of too, because she'd be like, well, today on the Today Show, like she was like, more, and she's like, it's so exciting the way people gather. But she doesn't, I think she saw me because she's like fixed it. I just watched her today and she's like pretty normal now.
I don't think that show can be as compelling without Kathie Lee though, and her getting like, a little buzzed on her Chardonnay and
I mean, they were fine. I think it does fine. Like I think it just does fine. Like Hoda just
watch Jenna Bush.
Yeah, I mean we don't, but we love Kathie Lee.
Hoda just denied it. Hoda denied that she ever said that. And then she's like, I don't know. She goes, oh, I never said, like, I don't know. I think they probably both. This is what I think happened. I think I completely fell through the cracks and they didn't even know who I was. And I think Kathie Lee, first of all, they didn't want me to guest host. They probably got bigger names. So she probably did suggest me and they're like, no, she's not a big enough name. That was probably it. I don't think Hoda didn't like me. Then I think when people that aren't comedians get into a sense where they just go, hey, improvise, they can go in like a mean, weird direction.
Right.
The other time that happened was with Jillian, the workout girl. What's her
Jillian Michaels? No, Jillian Michaels.
Yeah.
Jillian Michaels, we once did like an improv sketch with her on the show.
Because she's a wonderful improver, I'm sure. And
And-
she just jumps out at me how hilarious
And it was
she
supposed to be me and Shuey and somebody else.
Well, she seems mean.
And you know how Chelsea would always be like, what's up with your body? And she'd be into like weird bodies, and
Yeah.
she like loved like, you know, Gabrielle Sidibe, and she like would just like love anybody that like looked like different. But then to me, like even on Andy Cohen's show once, someone goes, why, how are you and what's up with this when we were on the show? They go, why are you so mean to Heather McDonald on your show? And she goes, because she has a terrible body. Like, I don't know why she said it. She's always talking about my body. So anyway, we go on
Wow.
we do this thing. We do this sketch. And Jillian Michaels just starts to just rip on my body. Just like you have no glutes, you're flat ass, whatever. And it was so bad we didn't even use it because we're like, she'll look awful. Like, she'll look so mean that we just can't even use this. But so that's what I think. I think that she went in a direction thinking
Yeah.
like that would be funny, or because our show is so mean-spirited that I'll be mean too and I'll be a big hit.
Yeah.
And like, so I don't think either one of them.
Maybe not even really remembering that it was a real thing. Maybe she
I
thought the whole
honestly
thing was
don't
fake.
even think they know who I am because,
Yeah.
oh my God, I just remembered another thing. I did go on the show once more after that when I was doing this All About Sex show. And Kathie Lee said, she's like, wow, your boobs are really out today. I had like kind of a low cut thing on. And yeah, I can't remember if Hoda was there. But anyway, that was the last time. So that was like six years ago. 6 years ago, January was the last time I've ever invited back on the Today Show. And I don't plan on being invited back again.
We did Hoda's serious show, and she said, you guys have to come on our 4th hour or whatever. And then it was like we had the plague. We had COVID. We had COVID back in 2017. It was like, they were like, please don't ever email us again.
Right.
We're sorry, Hoda.
She
Pass
says
your
it
name.
to everyone.
Right.
She's nice to
We were like,
homeless
wait,
people.
well,
Well,
like best friends with her
I
now.
guess she did it with you guys, and the producers were like, no. And Kathie Lee did it to me, and they're like, no.
Right.
Do you not know our show?
Yeah.
These girls are like not good for like women at home in Middle America.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were like, that's weird. They don't.
You don't want us coming on the Today Show talking about jizz buckets? Come on. What's the matter with you, Hoda? Come on, Kathie Lee.
I think
that stuff,
they were called jizz gutters because it's
Cum gutters.
sliding
Yeah.
down the
Right.
pelvic bone.
Yes.
Kelly Clarkson, you guys. She her divorce is just not good. Any thoughts on that?
I'm a huge Kelly Clarkson fan. I would say her talk show's not good either.
Really? I think it's kind of a hit.
I know, but do you like it though?
No, but
Oh, okay.
I don't watch, but I know it's a hit.
I love her music. Like I was a really, really super big fan of her music. And I'm kind of glad they're breaking up because I feel like now the drama is with his father, right?
And also he kind of managed her, so she's saying like you weren't a good manager or whatever, and now he's asking for like $436,000 a month in child support and alimony
And like back pay.
And he wanted like the kids to go back and forth between Montana and LA, but the judge said no, they're going to stay with her and you can just come visit. And
and they want back pay for the managing.
Yeah.
And I think they manage her career to the ground personally. I mean, even though the talk show's doing well, her music I felt suffered.
Yeah.
I did.
But how are you going to write new music when you're doing a talk show every day and you're singing like country covers? Like, she would have to probably stop that to like come up with new.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, it seems like when big artists like that, they really kind of have to go off almost like writing a book.
Yeah.
And like be into space and it's a whole new
Right.
album. Like they're not just coming up with one. So, I mean, I would if I was the talk show host. I'd be like, hey, every 6 months, let me just like come up
Right.
with a new song and someone just write it for me.
Yeah, like money can't buy you class, like that
Yes,
type of deal.
totally.
Yes.
Feeling Giovanni. Si, c'est le.
Yeah.
Le bon.
Oh, my
Le bon.
Yeah.
Chic, c'est la vie.
That's it.
C'est bon. C'est bon.
Click the keys and
Google me.
me.
Oh, there's
Also
so
a
many
classic.
good ones. Girl Code. How does
Oh
that
my God,
go?
Girl Code
That's
was
the
great.
best one.
She's got like 6.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't
she
think
was
of the chick for
prolific.
Girl Code.
But what about even Melissa Gorga had the one.
Oh yeah,
On display, on display.
That's right.
Each and every
Each
day.
and every day. They all had
What
them.
about
and
what-
Danielle had it too. Like, how'd that go?
Oh,
You're forever
close to
With
me.
the
close
clues, with
to
the with they were playing the piano. What about when Gretchen surprised Slade? Marry me. And he had like a radio show for a second, and then he's like, "Who is this? Is this Gretchen?" And then the helicopter comes outside of the studio and takes them.
I mean,
And they're still not married. No. God, memories. Okay.
I mean,
Speaking of getting married, that's a horrible photo of him.
It looks like his whole head's gonna, like he's like that thing. That
His face
when
is
it
marrying
gets
his neck,
it's gonna get
is what
sucked
happens.
down into
He
your,
just
like,
needs
that
Kybella.
doll.
Anyway, that is Matthew Perry, who's had a rough go of it, but he found a really cute 29-year-old, and they're getting married. There they are. They're getting married. He's 51, she's 29, and she's a literary manager. But like in Hollywood years, that's like a nothing age difference.
Yeah.
That's like completely respectable. They're like, you're not 60, she's not 21. Congrats.
yeah.
We saw him having dinner with. Now I can't remember who it is. I think it's Ryan Murphy. I think was Luke Perry.
Rest in peace. It was a
I
while
Yeah.
ago.
I can't remember.
Anyway, so they're getting married. Okay. Speaking of getting married,
And speaking of singing songs, "Marry Me."
yeah.
I mean, it's like Gretchen all over again.
Yeah. So these guys got married, and I talked a little bit about it with Justin Martindale, and I'm going to show you the little video and talk a little bit about it. But on this page, it was like these were big things that happened. Savage Performer, Gigi Hadid got a baby, Jonathan Bennett and his boyfriend James Bond got engaged, and Jen Aniston got a dog.
Oh. Now that is headline news. It's a cute dog.
She adopted a dog, you guys. Okay. Here we go. Oh, okay. Hold on. Wait, okay. So I'm going to show you a little of this video. You guys can go find it on people. You're watching on my YouTube. This is the engagement video of Jonathan Bennett, who was the babe in Mean Girls, and his fiance, who wrote a song, which is a song you're going to hear, about getting engaged, much like Gretchen Rossi.
I mean,
And here we go with a little of this song. This is our love song.
ooh,
I do kind of like the song.
it definitely grows on you. It's giving a Nickelback moment.
Yes.
Yes.
You know.
Every single word
Oh.
of that song is true.
Yes.
There's not a single thing in my life that I've ever
Chills.
100% sure of
Ah.
until you came along.
Oh, their
And that
acting is
thing
so
that I'm
good.
100%
And
sure
this
of
is James asking Matthew to marry him.
They're both in denim.
No, Jonathan.
Jonathan, sorry, Matthew.
Oh no,
every single day telling you
Heather.
And he is just ugly crying, you guys.
you're my forever baby.
You're
Oh
my forever
God!
baby.
Don't hold my face so close.
Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Jonathan David Bennett.
No. No.
Oh, there's confetti.
Which one do I put it on? What did he think they were doing? A music video? Is that what he thought he was mic'd for?
I did also wanted to tell you that Justin Martindale, I did not understand. This was sponsored. This video was sponsored by K Jewelers.
Oh, so
No.
now it's gonna be
Yes. Are
you
now
serious?
it's gonna be
Yes,
in
that's
K
a
Jewelers.
serious. Yes, and I have to say I watch a lot of engagement videos, a lot of things on TikTok, and I'm obsessed with this one. Okay. But what I love is this guy, Tommy_do. He's a comedian. And someone sent me a video of his Instagram. And he had a big K shirt on, which I didn't catch that part, but he put Vanity Fair in the back, and it was like, this is scenes from a shoot. And when it started, I thought it was real. The way this guy was talking, it was a parody, but I thought he was actually talking about like, how they got aerial shots, how they did several things over, how Jonathan, got excited. And not until they said that James had an Australian accent, so they dubbed his voice with Zac Efron or something, did I go, oh, wait a minute, this is a joke. It was so believable that because it was so planned, it was such a believable thing. But
the Vanity Fair little VF logo was selling it. And the shirt says K. And I mean, obviously, we didn't know this was sponsored by K Jewelers, which is clear. Jonathan Bennett had to know he was getting proposed to, even though he's doing his best Aaron Samuels acting right there. He's really giving you
such good acting.
But I thought that shirt just meant K, and I kind of like want it now.
Yeah.
Like K.
Yeah, K Jewelers.
Yeah.
And then, but anyway, that was hilarious. That so a lot of people are, not just us, obsessed with this is the engagement of 2020. This sums up our lives.
Oh, the song. He wrote the song. He was holding a sign.
Every word that I'm saying to you is true. Every word that I'm saying to you is true.
Their mics.
Every word. Now let me. Look deep into my eyes.
Wait, I'm
deep
him.
into my eyes.
I'm Jonathan, and you're okay.
Every word that I'm saying is true about this song. I want to look at you every day. I'm gonna touch your face. And I'm going to go, I love you every day of my life. And you're going to say to me, I love you every day of my life. Aren't you? Aren't you? Is that what you're going to say? Are you going to say that? Are you going to say you love me? Are you going to say, look, guess what's happening now? Look, I'm going.
So embarrassing.
Look. Wait, look. I have one too. Yes.
Then you guys should sit with straddling each
And
other.
this is our love song.
This is our love
I love it.
We're gonna be men in love.
How do you feel about the Kardashians going to Hulu?
What?
Okay, so is the Keeping Up with the Kardashians going to Hulu?
We don't really know. We don't know if it's going to be Keeping Up or it's going to be like 5 shows or what it's going to be. Is it going to be Kim Kardashian saving people from jail? Is it going to be or is it going to be Khloe doing like a fashion thing where she finds other designers because she's good American? Is it going to be Kylie doing something with makeup entrepreneurs? Is it going to be like their own separate things, or is it going to be them eating salads and looking at their phones?
Listen, we're going to miss. We
I
ate
need to
salad
watch
to
all
whenever
of it.
we wouldn't even
Yeah.
watch the Kardashians unless we were eating
You
salad.
guys know
Julie
you
and
can
I.
just go right over here to Health Nut on the way home.
We're going to.
Is that where they get their salads from?
Yeah.
And they come in that. We would make
want the-
salad, get salad, the
Cut
whole
it,
thing.
shake it.
And
Yeah.
I want to tell the world that my favorite Kardashian
Yeah.
is Kris.
Well, as it should be.
Yeah.
She's the one who created all the others.
Now they had a deal with what was that stupid Quibi?
Yes.
And one they had that one
that was the worst success of 2020. Yeah.
a wonderful story of
I mean-
resilience and wastes of time
and money.
So they had that deal where one of the things they were doing, Kendall Jenner produced it, where it was like that 7th Kardashian.
Yes, it was
That's
some
right.
guy kind of started it like a Instagram or something saying,
That's right.
I'm Kendall's fraternal twin.
Yeah.
And which is a really cute idea.
Great idea.
And I could see why it would work if Quibi worked. That's kind of the perfect little thing, little short
Yeah.
bits of it. But it didn't. But
No.
not every idea works.
But they might have taken all those ideas and because now they have them back and gone to Hulu.
yeah.
I'll watch them do anything. We'll watch them do anything. They can do. I mean,
We will.
we'll just watch them do
We
anything.
keep up.
I don't
We keep
care.
up. We
do
like
keep
it.
Up. Love,
Good
love.
for you. These are some other really wonderful gay movies that have happened. These
They
are
sure
gay holiday movies. And I thought, was this the first year where there's been an influx of gay Hallmark movies?
Jesus.
But there's been a few. There's
Really?
been Holiday Heart. What was that about?
I have no
In
idea.
2000? Can you look up Holiday
and
Heart
Twinkle
and give
All
me
the
an
Way? That looks like a boy and a girl.
That does look. They all look like boys and girls. except
Wait,
these are
no.
two boys. Now, unless that said Twink all the way.
Make
Tweak
the
all the
Yuletide
way.
Gay in 2009, but that was not
Oh,
going
Make
to
the
be
Yuletide
a
Gay.
regular show. This one, The Happiest Season, is about, this is out right now, this is about lesbians. But there is a Hallmark movie, I think, with Fran Drescher, where she
She's like a matchmaker.
She makes a matchmaker for
Yeah.
two gays.
Oh.
And then
Yeah.
there was one on the Paramount Network that I saw that is, I talked to Justin about it. He watched it. And it's Annie McDowell's has a gay son who's like a bitchy realtor in New York. And
Hot.
he comes to try to convince his mom to sell the ranch so he can make a big real estate deal. But on the ranch,
Is a hot cowboy.
exactly.
Hot gay cowboy.
And a little Brokeback Mountain throwback. And so in the end, they decide.
fall in love.
Yeah, and he decides. And I'm like,
Right.
you really think that New York realtor, I mean, we watch $1 Million Listing in New
Yes.
York, is going to be like now slinging shit from
No.
morning to night just because someone looks
Yeah,
good in a
but-
pair of Wranglers?
Yeah, well, he walked
No
up,
way.
He walked
No.
up and heard, "This is
The
our
love song. Oh my God.
Mhm.
Why? You know what? It's really unfortunate that when that movie was being made, that the fiance to Jonathan Bennett didn't have that song ready to go, because that could have been in that movie.
Oh, that would be, imagine that on a
Yeah.
farm and a thing.
Yeah.
Imagine that playing. I mean, come on.
Anyway, so we have
Wow,
some
well,
of that.
listen.
Happiest Season. This is about the two lesbians with Kristen Stewart, and people say they like that. That's on Hulu. That's out now. This is the one I was talking about. This is
Look at
Annie
Annie
McDowell.
McDowell.
And then I think this is the ranch hand, since he's
Clearly.
wearing ranchy clothes. And then this is her son,
God.
who's like, but I have not seen it. But
oh my God.
Wow.
yeah.
Next level.
I mean, I love that it's like the horse. There's a picture of two men, a lady, and a horse.
I love it.
You know?
This is the one with Fran Drescher,
Look at Fran
where she's
Drescher.
matchmaking them,
How
and they're in
much-
holiday sweaters. I heard they were like a couple in real life or
Oh,
something.
that's cute. I think that's how it should be. They need to
Right.
get Jonathan Bennett and
Yeah.
Vaughn, whoever he
I
is,
do
to
love
go.
Fran Drescher, too.
So
Sorry.
let's talk a little bit about Below Deck. Okay,
Okay.
so Below Deck
Heather,
is back. What?
before
Please
you
do.
even get into it, if people don't go and watch your Below Deck, for me, that was my
yeah.
highlight of 2020.
Oh, thank you. You
I- it was-
guys, you can go to YouTube, probably the best. Go to my YouTube, and it's my Below Deck that I did at home with my family, where I made Drake and Brandon act like the staff, the crew, and I played two roles. I played Captain Sandy, and I also play a drunk cougar
Great.
with Peter, who's my obnoxious husband, and we bring our dog, which that dog, the exact same dog, was featured on one of the episodes. So
It is. I got a lesbian, older lady, pervy crush on your daughter who directed it. I was like, she's so talented. It is a it
Yes,
is
Mackenzie
so well
directed
done.
it
It's
and
so well
edited it.
done.
Thank
Literally,
you.
when they're like sleeping, and
We'll release it over the holidays,
Yeah.
because I kind of feel like it did not get the love it should.
Oh, it's so
Oh,
good.
And
in
yeah.
Hilarious.
our world, there's so much love on it. I mean,
Yeah, I'm obsessed with it.
Thank you. Thank you. This girl, I was watching it this season. It's pretty boring. It's with Captain Lee. And now, oh my God, what's her name? Kate Chastain, who was like his main stew girl. She's gone on. She has her own talk show. She's in New York. She's no longer. So this is first time we're seeing Captain Lee without her. And it's a pretty boring season. I mean, my friend goes, I just watch it when I'm cleaning. I'm like, well, you should. That's all they do is clean. They're all just cleaning.
Yeah.
But I still watch it, and I love like them eating the food and everything. So she's a really good chef, and like everyone loves the food.
So she's
But
the chef.
Yes. And I'm watching like every episode. Nothing's happening. No one's boning. No one's getting like one kid got fired, but like there's no real drama with these people. And the people that come on are fine. They're not overly assholes. Nothing bad happens. I'm kind of like, this is a pretty boring season. So then all of a sudden, this episode starts, and she's just like, they have a couple days in between, charters, and she's just like, I miss my boyfriend. I miss my boyfriend. I just want to be with my boyfriend. And I was like, okay, but it's only 3 weeks left. Like, you'll see your boyfriend. He calls her down. I call him the Rachel Whisperer, because her name's Rachel, and I guess he whispers to her. And I just need to. So they're like, okay, you'll be all right. So then Captain Lee goes, okay, here's the preference sheet. Get ready for it. And he starts reading it, and they kind of like skip through, and it's like, this guy's a realtor. He's bringing another friend of his and a third friend who is Joe Schmo or whatever. And he's the happy father of 13 chihuahuas. And I'm like, okay, so it's gay guys, right? That's what sent her over. She quit. She fucking quit.
What?
Because of
Yes.
gay guys?
No, not because
Oh.
they're gay. I don't think this helps the gay movement, but their preference sheet was so much that she just said, she goes, eat my cootie and fuck off, Captain Lee. I am not kidding. She was like, she goes, eat my, she goes, he's like, they want I want a 10-course meal on this night. They want wild boar, which I'm like, I don't know if they can get that in Antigua. Wild boar. They want caviar. They want this. They want and they also want a New Orleans themed Mardi Gras dinner. That's different than the 10-course meal. And she just goes, yeah, eat my cootie. I'm quitting. And everyone's like, what? Like, they're coming in like 8 hours. She's like, yeah, I'm done. She's like, I'm done. And Captain Lee's like, and he goes, can you come to the bridge? She goes, and she's like, yeah. And he goes, I know this is a ridiculous preference sheet. We could go back to them and say, hey, you can't have this all. He goes, but could you just do breakfast and lunch and then you can leave? Because I got to find somebody else. And she's like, no, I'm out. I got to see my boyfriend.
Oh.
And I just thought,
wow.
I kind of just thought in a bigger picture, would a male chef ever quit?
Because he had to see his girlfriend.
Because he had to see his girlfriend.
Never. See my girlfriend.
Never in a billion years would a male chef. I could see a male chef being like, fuck you all. I don't like the way you're treating me. I mean, but it's like, no way. And she's a really talented chef, and now she's on TV. Not that she wants to go back to being a yachting chef, but even if I wanted, I would be scared to like hire her for a restaurant. For a private chef at my home. I would never want to hire someone that cries like that, saying, "I miss my boyfriend and I can't stick it out for 3 more weeks."
It's a certain kind of person who can leave people high and dry. That's a whole crew. The people are about to show up. I mean, just be like, put some jizz in a shot glass and serve it to them.
And also say, we're not going to get wild boar, guys. We're not getting wild boar. So what do you want to do about it? Yeah. Like, deal with it. You are allowed to
You were saying you saw the episode with Dr. Drew's wife, Susan Pinsky. I've never seen that episode of Dr.
We didn't see it. Okay. The three, there was the 3 gay guys that were on People's Couch with us.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they weren't with us. They were in their own place. They went on that. They went
with them.
Yes, they were Susan Pinsky's guests.
Oh.
And they said that she was like, they had like the best time. And
she's partying.
And they were like laying out topless. And I don't know if any of that was in the show because I didn't see it. But they had like, we were so jealous. We couldn't believe they got to go on it. We were so jealous.
Well, she was guest of this psychic.
Right.
And that psychic is like Kathy Hilton and Kyle Richards' psychic.
Ew.
I think that psychic was like on her podcast.
Anyway, I've had like 5 run-ins with that psychic.
And it's not the psychic who was on
The Housewives?
Yeah, who did that dinner.
Who's the TV
Medium?
show is called
Yes.
Medium. Oh, that's her?
It's that one that's like, she's got long dark hair and she said like, Pinky, you have a dog named Pinky or something to Lisa Vanderpump. And
no, this lady told Kyle or made it implied that like Maurizio was cheating or something.
Oh, well, that's the famous girl from the Medium, not that one.
Okay.
There was like an older woman that looks like a psychic.
Okay.
Like long dark hair.
Which hair?
Really long. And just long and like black hair. And she's just like, and she's nice, but every time she's read me, I just feel like it's not
right.
It's just, and so, but I know she's like, a lot of other people like her. She's like famous. Like she does like, big.
So she hasn't told you any revelation that you're like, damn, how'd she know that? Or any indication that.
I see a baby in your life. I see new babies.
Oh my God. I'm trying to.
They always say that they're going to have kids.
Yeah. Well, that one that told Kim Zolciak that she was going to have.
Oh, right. Well, she was right.
I mean, literally, she predicted.
That lady was right.
That lady is right.
And it was like, and you're sitting there looking at Kim like, and she was probably like still with that one guy at the time. Remember?
Well, she was only 27, but everybody thought she was 45. Yeah.
And she was with the guy who, Mr.
Big
Big.
Papa.
Or
Big Papa.
And at that
Thank you, Big Papa.
And at that point, you're like, no, her and Big Papa are not having, 4 more children. But
yes.
It was crazy. I mean, that woman, she predicted every sex of her babies accurately, too. And that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I need somebody with the track record
Accuracy.
Right.
Yeah.
What is her saying? She does dream, believe, achieve, or something. I mean, she is someone that's like gotten what she's wanted, you know?
Oh, Kim?
Yeah.
She sure has.
Wow.
She sure has. I mean, I'm happy for her. Like, good
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah.
She has the kids and the whatever she wanted.
Well, what does the psychic tell Susan Pins? She must be on the money with them. She's doing like giving them readings, or because they're good friends, right? Or no?
No, they are. I feel like it's a little bit like, remember how like Nancy Reagan would meet with psychics and people were like, oh my God, she's meeting with psychics. Is that affecting what Ronald Reagan is doing? I know you guys probably like,
I don't
maybe
remember
not remember that.
Yeah.
But they would like criticize her. The media would criticize her because she's like meeting with psychics and she's like from Hollywood and everything. I think it's a little like that. Like, I think Susan is into it. And I think sometimes she'll like talk to them and be like, oh, Drew should do this or whatever. But I don't think it's like.
Is the psychic very rich? Because that to go on Below Deck, it's
She
quite
paid for
expensive.
it. So I think, no, I think she does pretty well doing like, I think at the time she was doing like, you know, seminars and, you know, that's how a psychic does well. It's like you have a big thing and then a bunch of people buy tickets and then you're lucky enough to be read. But you hear about like psychic stuff. and-
to be on that boat,
Ugh.
hanging out with Dr. Drew's wife and getting the psychic.
Yep.
I wonder if she gave like Emerson and Scott like read, you
She
know,
must
did their
have.
cards or
She
whatever the hell.
absolutely must have.
Oh, it's a dream. It's a dream. And even just seeing how that whole Below Deck machine works would be so interesting, you know?
Yep.
You know, the whole thing like mojito, more problems, whatever. It's like Kate Chastain's pissed off she has to make mojitos because they're so involved and thinking of like the most elaborate drink you can think of and just torturing them.
Yes.
Be so
yes.
I want
You
a
know?
frozen Long Island iced tea
good. Right.
mule. And then,
But I get really annoyed when I'm boozing. And
The drinks
like
aren't
my
flowing.
Chardonnay is
Yeah.
not the kind I want, or it's warm,
Ew,
or I'm like,
right.
hey, could you bring an ice bucket out for this? And then it's like 23 minutes. The bottle is still just getting
Yeah.
warm on my table at lunch. And I'm like, honestly, like I'm not enjoying myself. Like it's getting warm. Like I need the ice bucket. And I
Yeah.
know that makes you look like a diva, but you're like, if I'm going to booze it, if I'm going to spend the money, if I'm going to have the calories,
Yep.
I'm old. Like I know what I like.
Right.
And I'd want to be really specific. If I went on the boat, I'd be so specific. I'd be like, this breakfast we're doing Hovis Rancheros and fruit. This breakfast we're doing lox and lock Benedict. Like I'd up it a little, but I wouldn't make it like they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
This dinner, I want this. I would say exactly what I want. I would say I want Rumbauer Chardonnay, Veuve champagne.
Oh, yeah.
Because sometimes I see the liquor and it's like very average. And I think I'm like, that's because they weren't specific about it. And but I wouldn't ask for something that they couldn't do. And I will say on the record, I will never insist on them setting up a lunch on the beach.
Oh,
the
God.
worst.
I will never do it. I'll
Terrible.
say, take me to the beach.
The worst. Yeah.
You know what? Let's have a big breakfast. Take me to the beach from like 11 to 1.
Yeah.
Where I'm just literally going to frolic on the beach. Maybe just bring like a bag of like, so I can have a couple drinks. But then let's have the beautiful lunch back at the boat. You don't need to get the teak table out.
No.
The
No.
minute
The
they get the
napkins
teak
blowing.
table out, they're
Ugh.
like, we're ready to go back to the boat now. They're like,
No. The worst.
Yeah. Oh, but I would be like, you can go ahead and blow up the water slide and throw it off the side of the boat.
oh, we're doing the water
And
slide.
they get furious, and it's like, I'm gonna use the beach toys and the ocean
Yeah.
toys. Like this cost $100,000. Go ahead and blow that up, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
and then skedaddle because I don't want to look at you while I'm drinking my shard.
I'm doing the slide for sure.
I want a skidoo.
I'm definitely doing it.
I want a skidoo while I'm off of the thing, the boat. I
This is
want
gonna do
all
the-
of
you mean the,
yeah,
uh,
you know,
Yeah,
a
sea-doo.
Oh,
Yeah.
a
Sea-doo.
sea-doo.
Definitely
Oh.
doing the sea-doo.
Yeah, I want to, and I'm gonna call it a skidoo because I paid for it.
Yeah.
And I want.
Would you have them unpack? Because you know they're always like with your extensions, like woo, like they. I don't because they unpack and pack your stuff. I wouldn't do it. I don't think.
I would be clear about that. Do not touch
I've
my
only
stuff.
had an unpacking experience happen once in my life. It was at Joe Francis's house. And the first time I went and was like, no, I will unpack it myself. And the second time, I just every second I wanted to enjoy. So I was like, yeah, unpack it and go for it. I don't care. But it wasn't on camera. I'm actually not a good camp packer. And so people are like, actually, my friend just visited me when I was doing that show in Scottsdale, and I was packing up my shit to leave, and she was like, oh, wow. She was my college roommate, so I was a mess back then. And she looks at it, she goes, oh, I would have thought you would have been like such an organized, like fabulous packer by now with how much you travel and everything.
I would have thought you cleaned
No,
up.
no. I still have like shitty luggage, shit's everywhere. I'm like, no, not going to change. Like, yeah. So no, I don't, definitely not if they're filming it. No, I don't, I would unpack myself.
And they are, and they're making fun of what's in there. And then by the end,
I'd also be very specific about what I brought. So I don't have a big, huge thing. I'd like almost even leave like an extra bag, like, I don't know, at the hotel or something for 2 days while I just bring just the bag I need for this, you know?
yeah,
Because you don't have to bring heels. You're on a boat.
right.
So that's one thing you don't have to bring because you can't wear your heels if you wanted to.
Would you have a theme night for anything?
I always think that's so weird. Like, we want a disco theme night. It's like there's 6 of you.
Yeah.
How much are you going to be like ripping it? I think the theme thing is so
Yeah,
weird.
so
No,
weird.
I would not do a thing. I would go like this night we're going to celebrate the birthday, so we would like a cake for that. Or, well, of course, I'd say we're going to celebrate Heather's 530th episode. Like, I'd do something so we'd have to mention Juicy Scoop.
Right.
And so, but I would not make them dress. I don't want to see them dance. I certainly don't want some guy like doing the drums, like in the corner, or like someone singing. How awkward. I'd be like, no, have like some good music on, and we'll have this meal.
But how would you involve the staff? Because you have to have them all
Ugh.
mixing in.
I mean, sure, they'd have to.
Karaoke.
Oh, that's
You
great.
could do karaoke with the staff because at least they're.
But then the
doing their own
producers would be
thing.
like, yeah, but we can't use any of that.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
The
that's
songs.
right. Ugh.
Because you'd have
All
to
right.
think
How
up.
about you could force the staff to do like, all right, all the guys, wet T-shirt contest, spin around in front
I
of
would
me.
never do that as a mother of boys. I am kind of grossed about when people like exploit men's bodies and they all get all weird and kookery, and I think that's so gross.
Yes.
Like, I don't like that at all. So I would not do anything where they could say these old cougars or anything like
Yeah.
that, or
How
like
about
groping
like
at them.
jumping like sport events for them?
I definitely want. I mean, I would definitely
Competitions.
do all the stuff in the
Competitions.
pool and everything like that.
Would
I
you
would-
go with your fam, or would you go girls trip? Because you could bring, your family. I mean, it wouldn't be as fun, probably.
I think I would rather just go with girls. I don't want to. I have to worry about myself. I don't want to also worry about Peter.
Yeah. I love that it's not your kids that you're worried about, it's Peter.
Oh yeah, and the kids. Then that would be embarrassing because
Yeah.
they would just. I'd be like, it's just chicken and burgers, like Then you're like, wow, what's wrong with that kid? And then or they'd show the kid like on his phone, and it's like, what a loser. Heather's kids aren't even like enjoying that they're like in the Amalfi Coast. Like, I don't need any of that. I can take care of myself, and I have to stay somewhat sober, which is really hard on it. So when the dinner starts at 9, no. I'm not doing Ibiza. I want early to rise, early. So
Yeah.
I want breakfast. I want someone up at 6 a.m. if I want my latte. Okay, because I'm not going to
Yes.
sleep. I'm not going to sleep on this boat. I never sleep well on a trip. So I want up early. I want breakfast on the table by 8:45.
Oh, that's not too early. That's good.
I want a lunch at 1 o'clock. 1. And I want dinner, cocktails, all that starting by like 6:30.
Oh, yeah. Watch the sunset.
Cocktails 6:30, dinner at 7. We're done by like 9. If people want to drink a little more, fine. Get a little crazy, fine. But if it's too late, I'm gonna pass out, or someone's gonna miss the meal.
Eating at 9? I mean, no, there's no reason.
No.
Except they need a million years to go in there and have a nervous breakdown because they're making the New Orleans fucking king cake. And
What's
theme.
your meal that you're getting for your one special meal
on the boat?
On the boat.
I mean, I would definitely want to do like a seafood. I would want sushi, I think. Something such as. So I would have to insist that whoever the chef is be Japanese.
Haven't you noticed how small the portions are sometimes?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like,
I would ask for. I'd say I don't care what you serve.
Yeah.
I just want a lot of it.
yeah.
Just give me a pile of food. How about that? How about do that?
They're
Just
always
like-
late with the food, though. That's
it's
like
always
the thing. They're
late.
always starving. Then everybody's
I
getting
hate it
too
when it's
drunk.
always like, so today the chef made a really, really simple deconstructed Caesar salad. So And it's buffet style, so just take a romaine lettuce and a little bit of Parmesan cheese that you grade yourself, and then 3 croutons. And it's like, I hate anything deconstructed. It's like,
Me
like,
too.
I like it chopped and tossed. And it's like, and for the second course, we have a really, really simple capellini. It's kind of thin pasta with just a little bit of Irish butter and Parmesan cheese. Just a really, really simple dish. And for dessert, we have ice cream from Thailand with some raspberries. And you're like, that's why you have to be specific, because otherwise you're getting something really, really simple.
You're right.
It's a classic chicken Parmesan. What? It's fucking the Capri room with the reed? I'm like, what?
No, we're not having chicken parm on the yacht. Okay, take it back now. I mean, and now I can't get it out of my head that like you don't specifically say Vouv or Dom, and you're working with some like barefoot
Corbell.
bubbly. I'm not having it.
Yeah.
I am not having it, and I will torture the staff. I
Yeah.
mean, I would live to do that. It's what's fun.
Yeah.
And
I
then you
agree.
give the huge tip at the end, and they're all like, she's not going to give anything. And then you're just like, it was okay. Next time, maybe put the Caesar together. And then you drop like
Yeah.
all
30
the
grand.
cash. Yeah. Make
Yeah.
it rain. Bye.
I mean,
and then you're walking
next
down
time.
like Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
Next time, put the Caesar together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Because you know they're back there counting. But
Oh.
sometimes they must tell the people, don't give them a lot.
Right.
You know?
No,
Right.
I know that they say, like, this is the minimum that you expect to give this at least. But they don't tell you that if you just give that, you're going to look like the cheapest person all season. So people give a lot so that just it's an international show. I don't need to be called Cheapy McCheap
No.
for the rest of my life. So it's like, but they probably are like, hey, if you don't like something, make sure you say it when you leave, because we need to talk about that on the show.
And you must get a discount for filming the show, right?
Yes, it's a discount, but you're still paying so much.
I would ask for like a constant stream of snacks. I feel like that's never around on a
I've
on
said
a
that
trip.
to Kate. I'm
I
like,
want.
have the charcuterie board out
Yes,
there the moment
love
they
that.
walk on there.
Why aren't there just snacks? Just exactly.
And also say, hey, you know,
Thinking Doritos,
also,
but-
hey, if you don't want to get up at 6 a.m. with me because I don't want to hear about it, can you just direct me to where the Keurig is? I just want a cup of coffee the moment I wake up.
Yeah.
I don't even need it to be like a latte. I'm fine with just a Keurig
Yeah.
and some cream. I just want to sit outside. I want to enjoy every moment outside on this boat.
Yes.
And I don't want to be like dying for coffee and having it take 42 minutes to get a cup of coffee.
And that's
Yeah.
not hot. Yeah,
Right.
you want to be able a
No,
coffee
yeah,
station.
and it comes in a cup like that.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, thanks. Now it's cold milk.
Big saucer
No
cup.
coffee cup should
No.
ever be like, I don't
No.
need a heart. I don't need a ship.
No.
No.
I want it hot.
Yes.
I don't like
Direct
when
me
it's
to
a
the
glass,
microwave.
see-through glass mug either.
I
Ew,
hate
I
a see-through
hate that.
glass. Your hands are going to burn off.
And they always do
hate
it
it.
on like Good Day LA. They have a see-through glass mug. I'm like, get it out. I don't. It needs to be ceramic. I don't wanna
Ceramic
see
and
your coffee.
hot.
Yeah, yeah.
Girls, happy 2021.
We're calling it Forever 21.
Oh, that's cute.
That's our theme. You know, we always pick a theme.
I love it.
This one was Money 20. Went well.
That didn't really
really.
go good.
Oh.
But we've decided that 2021 is Forever 21. It's just Forever 21.
Well, tell everybody where they can find you. In case they don't already know. I can't imagine that they don't.
We have a podcast called Dumb Gay Politics. It's free wherever you get your podcasts, and it's politics for people who don't follow politics. If you like Bravo, but not, you know, the news, then that's what it's for. It's funny and stupid, and it's called Dumb Gay Politics. And we have a Patreon podcast for people who don't like politics. We don't talk about any politics, thank God. It's our break from that.
Right, but just want to hear us talk shit, basically.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Heather.